Hi, it's Eliza. Welcome back to Eliza's Bookshelf. Today I want to go over my top 5 romances of the year so far. I'm not going to do it in any particular order because I tried to rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite, or my lowest to my highest. They're all my favorites, but I tried to rank them and it just got really hard. So I'm just going to go in no particular order. First one I want to talk about is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. So Colleen Hoover is one of my favorite romance authors. She is an auto-buy for me. Whatever she writes, I just go ahead and add it to my cart without even knowing what the synopsis is. And for the most part, I love all of her books. I think recently she had another book, Heartbones, and it's more of a YA romance. I didn't like it as much. I thought it was kind of like, I don't know. That one was a miss for me, but for the most part, all of her romances I loved. And if you don't know, she's more on like the serious, sad side of romance. If you're looking for your heart to break and be smushed into smithereens, Colleen Hoover is the go-to gal. So Reminders of Him, this was released earlier this year, I believe in February or March. In Reminders of Him, we have this woman named Kenna who recently got out of prison. She was there for 5 years and now she's trying to get back to her daughter, who is 4 years old. So she was pregnant when she went to prison. Anyway, so her daughter has been living with her old boyfriend's parents for the time being, and she's trying to get to know her, get custody back, whatever. They're making it kind of hard. But, a long time ago, 5 years ago, there was this tragedy with her boyfriend at the time. And so you kind of learn a little bit more about that. I don't want to say too much about it because I read the back again and it was not revealed here. So I don't want to give spoilers, but something happened a long time ago and she went to prison. Now she's back. She's trying to get her baby. Because of that tragic accident back then, people are not really receptive to her coming back. And so some people remember her, some people don't, but she's trying to keep a low profile while she gets to meet her daughter. She goes to like a local bar or restaurant and she meets this guy. And Reminders of Him. The him is the boyfriend from a long time ago, and this new person that she meets has a relationship with that boyfriend from before too. So things kind of get a little bit iffy here. I'm pretty sure this has been out for a few months. I'm sure people know what the relationship is, but I just don't want to say too much in case you haven't. But just know that this is it gets sad a little bit parts. It's definitely not the saddest book that I read from Colleen Hoover, but I liked it. It's just a lot of heart to her books and a lot of serious topics. But if you haven't read a lot of Colleen Hoover, which I know a lot of my friends or family have not, my all-time favorite is All Your Perfects. She recently did like a redo of a lot of her book covers as well. So her All Your Perfects had a new cover, and it's a lot more simpler. And I'm not sure if I like it better. When the cover for All Your Perfects initially came out, I was like, what is this? It looks so cheesy and weird, but I love the story so much that the cover grew on me and I loved it. So yeah, this is one of my top 5 romance books of this year. And hope you guys give it a try. Hope you guys get hooked on Colleen Hoover as well so we can just gush about her all day long. My next one I want to talk about is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So Emily Henry, she has a couple of books out now. She has People We Meet on Vacation. She has Beach Reads, and then she has Book Lovers. Book Lovers is the 3rd book that I've read from her, and although it's not my favorite from her, I actually really liked this book because the banter was just so cute, and the ending was cute, the relationship is cute. We have these two people who work in the literary world. They have different roles, but they met one time during lunch or breakfast or whatever to go over this book deal, and they got off on the wrong foot because he didn't like the book and she's like pushing for the book, so they did not mesh well initially, and then they went on their ways. Maybe a couple years later they met again in this small town, and it's just so cute seeing their worlds mesh together. She has a storyline going on with her sister. He has his family in this small town. Their banter is just so funny. I think initially their first meeting, the meeting that screwed things up between them, even from that meeting, I thought it was so hilarious and funny that I was like, I can't wait to see what is next. And yeah, this is just a nice lighthearted read. It's not as heavy hitting as Colleen Hoover's. So if you need something that's less soul crushing, just give Emily Henry's books a try. What else? Yeah, the ending I really loved. So I ended up putting this in my top 5 romance reads of the year. Next one is Amy Leah's Set on You. So yes, this is in my top 5 romances of the year. Thanks, Kaylee. We have a body positive fitness influencer and personal trainer, and she works out at a gym, and she's getting ready to, you know, get her water and stuff, and she comes back to her squat rack, and this guy stole her squat rack, and he's a firefighter, by the way. But yeah, so they got off on the wrong foot, and I don't know how they eventually got to dating. I don't know. He just kept asking her out, and finally she said yes. I forget, but it's just one of my favorites. You'll have to take my word on it. I think I gushed about this book so much that you can just look at several of my other YouTube videos and see, but basically it's kind of like an enemies to lovers, and they have, what do they have? I think their families are, oh yeah, their grandparents are getting married, so they have like that together too, and they're like, oh, I don't want to date you because it'll be weird if it doesn't work out, but eventually they start dating, and they're just so cute together. I really like a scene in the end. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm always torn between how much I can say on here, but it's just super cute, the things that they do for each other. And obviously there's always those, what is it, like the conflict in the books, right? So after the conflict, which she's the one who messed things up, she comes back and does something for him that I think was super cute, and that's like my favorite scene in this book, because it shows her personality too. She's like super goofy. I super like this book, and I just can't wait for Amy Leah's next book next year. This is probably my favorite book. I'm not sure. It was hard to decide my all-time favorite book of the year, so that's why I'm not putting it in any specific order, but Beth O'Leary's The No-Show. So if you don't know already, it's called The No-Show because this guy supposedly stands up 3 women on the same day, Valentine's Day, right? So he shows up this woman at breakfast time, which a date during breakfast, interesting. But anyway, so he stands up 1 woman during breakfast, 1 woman during lunch, 1 woman during like a nighttime kind of event get together that they planned out. But yes, that's why it's called The No-Show. But as you read on, obviously you figure out that something else is going on, right? And I kind of assumed that going into already, because no one's gonna write a romance book or a chick lit romance book about someone who is a jerk. So I figured there's more to the story, so I kept an open mind. And I just love this book because it's basically 3 love stories in one, like his relationship to each person. And in the end, of course, it is a happily ever after novel. It is a little bit sad in there, but in the end, if you just hang on, in the end, it does end well. So I loved it. I might say this was my favorite. But yeah, so my 5th one in my top 5 romances of the year is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. And I've talked about this before, but it's just the perfect grumpy sunshine trope. And you know, initially I thought grumpy sunshine trope was actually like the guy or, you know, love interest is super grumpy, but when it comes to the girl or the other love interest, then they're like sunshine and rainbows for them. But after thinking about it, I think it means the guy is super grumpy and the girl is super sunshiny, which really fits in this book, I think. I don't know, whatever. But this is the grumpy sunshine trope done super well. Because a lot of times I think the guy is just too grumpy and so much of a jerk that I don't like it. I think it's unrealistic, because if that happened in real life, no one would like this person, right? And so this book, When in Rome, is just the perfect balance, because this guy, although he's like super grumpy and doesn't want anything to do with a relationship with this person, he has his reasons and he communicates it well with that person. They just can't fight their feelings. Yeah, so it's about this pop star who is in a rut. She's being worked super hard. There's a concert upcoming and she's just burnt out. And so she drives away to this place called Rome in Kentucky. And at this small neighborhood, I don't know what she's looking to find here. She's just trying to like find herself and just refresh her life. I don't know. But she actually runs into this guy who runs a bakery there. And he has his own history too about like, you know, getting heartbroken before or getting out of a bad relationship. But they're just so cute together. Yeah, he's of course, you know, on the grumpier side, and she's super sunshiny, like, oh shit, am I bothering you? Sorry, I'm gonna walk away now. She's so cute. So I thought their relationship together was awesome. I loved it. I liked it even more than The Cheat Sheet, which I read last year by Sarah Adams. So just to recap, these are in my top 5 favorite romances of the year. And then we have When in Rome, which is coming out later in the year, I think in September. But yeah, I hope you guys give this a try if you haven't already. If you want kind of a sad story, Colleen Hoover is your girl. The No Show is more on like the serious-ish side. I wouldn't really consider it a romance, like a rom-com book, but it's still really good. And these two are more on the lighthearted kind of, you know, rom-com-y feel books, but I love them all so much. Yeah. If you give them a try, let me know in the comments how you like them, and then I will see you next time. Bye!